Guys, your 2018, 2019, 400 Ninjas, the clutch. Something has to be done about the clutch. Over the last couple of years since this thing has been out, this has turned into a pretty well documented problem. But in case you're unaware, so what's the problem? And what's going on back there? That's a story for another day, I guess. So yeah, this. I should also point out that this problem isn't just a Ninja 400 problem, it's also a Z400 problem. They share the same engine and the same clutch. The problem is actually one of the things that people really love about this bike, at least what the problem is caused by, and that's right here. A very, very light clutch pull. To new riders and even seasoned riders, that's really nice. It's really cool. It's really easy on your hands, you know, except that it's a little vague. You don't really get a good feel for where the clutch starts to bite, but anyway, that light clutch pull, the reason you have that is because you have very light clutch springs right in here. Typically, with most motorcycle clutches, those springs need to be strong enough to clamp down on the clutch pack to prevent it from slipping. But these bikes are using a slipper assist clutch now. So they also rely on centrifugal force from the clutch to clamp down on the clutch pack. And that works pretty well, really. The problem comes with the slipper effect of the clutch. The clutch is designed to slip under deceleration so it doesn't over-rev the engine or try to lock up the rear wheel. Again, since this bike is so beginner friendly, it's set up very light. It doesn't take a lot of deceleration to get that clutch slipping. And that of course causes premature clutch wear. So you've got bikes with very little mileage on them that are starting to slip. 5,740 kilometers on this one, and it's been slipping for a couple hundred kilometers now. Not constantly, only under the right situations. Typically when I'm riding it, because I'm a little more aggressive with it, it's my wife's bike. When she rides it, she doesn't have a problem with it, and she probably wouldn't have had a problem with it for quite a while if it was left alone, but you know, again, I ride it, it wears a little bit quicker. Now, another problem is with the design of the clutch basket. The clutch basket doesn't actually allow full travel to get the full life out of the clutch plates. The clutch plates actually still have some life left in them, but the basket can't take advantage of it. It reaches its full travel and starts to slip. Now, as soon as this bike hit the market, it automatically picked up a big following of racers. So naturally, racers do what they do, and they fix problems that the OEM create. Just one of the problem solvers I came across was the guys over at Norton Motorsports. Now, they're not endorsing this video in any way. I just, you know, these are the guys I came across on searching the internet. I'll put a link to their website down in the description. There's a lot of great information there about how, you know, the shortcomings of this clutch setup and how to fix every one of them. And not to mention the transmission as well, because some people are not crazy about the way it shifts. That's, you know, all repairable. You can set this up just the way you like it. For me, for now, I'm going to set this bike up to work properly on the street, primarily for my wife. And what I'm going to do to it right now to fix it is probably around the same thing that most people are going to do to fix this problem. And it's not very difficult. We're just going to swap out a couple of parts. That'll involve getting inside the clutch, which is no big deal. If you've got enough skill to change the oil in this bike, I wouldn't be too worried about solving these clutch issues on your own. So let's take a look at the parts involved. So first and foremost, the number one thing everyone's going to want. This is going to solve a lot of problems, even if it's the only thing you do. Stiffer clutch springs. These are from Barnett. There's a part for the kit right there. But yeah, that's as simple as it gets right there. These springs are stiffer than the springs in the bike. They're going to clamp down harder. They're going to prevent some of that slipper action when you're decelerating to keep it from wearing prematurely. Now, for the next piece of this puzzle, you used to have to go to someone like Norton Motorsports and buy some of their custom-made parts. But luckily, Kawasaki has figured out that there's a problem, and it seems like they've addressed it for 2020. So now, you can buy some OEM Kawasaki parts to address these problems. So what have we got here? First of all, we've got a new pull rod. That's the part number. We've got a new pressure plate bearing, and that's the part number. Together, those two parts right there are going to allow that clutch basket to have full travel and use up all of the friction material on those clutch discs. Now, of course, if you're going to the trouble to open up your clutch and it's already showing signs of wear, it's totally reasonable if you want to replace some of the friction discs. You could go to Barnett and, buy a clutch kit from them, replace those clutch discs while you're in there. Myself, I've only experienced the bike slip maybe twice under full load. So I'm going to chance it. I'm going to leave the clutch discs alone. Since I'm going to get full travel out of the basket, I should still have some life left on them. So we'll see what happens. If it turns out that they're wore excessively and it still slips later on, I'll just address the clutch at that point. I'm not worried about it. So let's get into installing this stuff.